priority activities, again, like the priorities, they are not sufficient. And this is mainly due to the limited funding resources available for communities, civil society organization, and community-based organizations in the MENA region. When we come to the execution of the fund or the grants, you will find higher engagement.
مشاركة في التنفيذ والرصد والتقييم. هنا نرى تغييراً جذرياً في النتائج. عندما ننتقل إلى تنفيذ الأنشطة نرى أن النسب تتغير، وهذا أيضاً كان واضحاً جداً في المقابلات، حيث نرى ضلوعاً
l'évaluation en comparaison avec les autres éléments.
In the funding cycle. The barriers to actually the challenges that communities and community-based organizations were facing for effective community engagement was criminalization of key population, the laws against most of the key population, MSM, sex workers, people who use drugs. These were very noted as very important factors that are hindering key population and actually participating in the global fund processes. Some of them noted that people are not invited to be CCM members, or they didn't have the ability to voice their concerns and needs because of the criminalizing laws in many countries of the MENA region. Another hindering factor was the limited presence of CCM structures in the MENA region. People didn't have a platform where they can be participating in decision-making. CSOs and community-based organizations also pointed out the limited financial resources that they have, and thus there is a high turnover of people in these organizations. They don't have the resources to invest in enhancing the capacity of the people they are working with, or actually devoting more time to learn more about global fund processes. So they need more resources to be able to be more engaged. There is also lack of information on the engagement opportunities. Either they don't have this information or it's not timely. They receive information late. They don't have the time to process the information, and this is actually hindering their ability to engage effectively in global fund processes. Limited technical capacity, again, was highlighted, and lack of coordination among civil society and communities. In some countries of the MENA region, it was actually pointed out that the limited financial resources is increasing negative competition among CSOs and communities. So they are I don't want to say fighting. They are trying to work within the same pool of resources, and this is creating a negative environment that is hindering their participation in global fund processes. When asked about the information and the support that they needed, we tried, some of the information came out from the online survey, and additional support and information came through the key informant interviews. The guidance from Global Fund on community engagement was highlighted. Technical briefs on HIV and TB, CRG, were highlighted. How to do grant negotiation and implementation processes, information about the Global Fund strategy, and more information on technical assistance was highlighted. From the key informant, interviewees, the information or support needed was to support communities to have a national or local level discussion and dialogue before meeting with the Global Fund. So they can have a unified front when they negotiate with the Global Fund, and they understand all the priorities and needs of their communities. Again, the need for deeper understanding of Global Fund processes was highlighted. Having more time to learn about the application process, capacity building, and resources to support their engagement and understanding the policies surrounding Global Fund processes was highlighted as the information and support needed. As to the learning need, there were two types, one related to the Global Fund and the other one was more of programmatic and implementation. You can see them. It's information about Global Fund, community-led monitoring, understanding the CCM structure, funding requests and grant making, resource mobilization. These were highlighted at the top learning needs related to the Global Fund. Programmatic, fundraising, project development, how to write proposals, strategy development, advocacy skills, monitoring and evaluation, and use of technology and innovation. Actually, this was highlighted more than once, the technology and innovation, because given the limited financial resources they have, communities need to be more innovative, and that's why they need to have more innovative capacity to come up with new innovative solutions to the problem that communities are facing in the region. The most preferred learning methods were the traditional face-to-face or mentoring, or compared to social media, webinars, newsletter. Actually, it was also noted by the stakeholders through the key informant interviews that people never visit the websites and they don't have the time to read long material in the website. So we have to really work on facilitating these guidelines and information in a way that would make it easier for people to learn by themselves or read these material. Translation was also noted as important because some of this material is either in English, and Francophone countries don't actually understand the material available on the website. The same for communication methods. Email, the traditional email or face-to-face was highlighted as the most preferred compared to virtual or online or social media. Given these findings, a list of recommendations were generated in order to enhance the community engagement of communities in the MENA region. Most of these recommendations also came up through the online survey and the interviews with the stakeholders. They were validated either through the online survey and also raised by the interviewees that we have interviewed. The first recommendation is to strengthen the direct engagement with community members. So Global Fund has to communicate directly with the community members in the region, especially with organizations led for KPs. Include a line item for the community engagement in the grant, so it becomes something that needs to be done and not taken for granted. Establish effective communication between the CCM or the principal recipient and their representatives. ensure that KP's network are formally included in the Global Fund processes. Improve the country coordination mechanism functioning, having a good selection criteria for the representative to make sure that they can voice the concerns and priorities of the community that they are representing. Provide technical support to the CCM in order to emphasize, to have better representations from the ministries in their government. Conduct annual evaluation of the CCM activities and establish standardized guidelines for the CCM in order to engage communities, and clarify the roles and responsibilities of the PR and the CCM so they can be more active in engaging community members. The other recommendation is improve funding allocation, ensure that there is part of the funding is actually allocated for the administrative cost for CSOs and community-based organizations, so they will have better resources to participate in the Global Fund processes. And dedicate a significant portion of the Global Fund to community-based activities. This will give communities, civil society organizations, and community-based organizations more resources so that they will be more encouraged or motivated to learn about the Global Fund funding cycle and be more engaged. Another recommendation is provide technical supports for the communities, especially KPs, technical support to help them advocate for a change in policies in the legal environment related to KPs in their countries. Also, recommendations came out for regional networks to be as sub-recipients, reinstating them, and helping them or providing technical assistance in preparing for or writing country grants. Capacity building definitely is one of the areas or recommendations that were addressed, especially when it comes to the Global Fund processes, community-led monitoring, understanding the CCM, funding requests and grant making, and resource mobilization. There was also a recommendation supporting communities to do their own community-led research and to learn more about CLM and implementing CLM, so they will be more, they will have more evidence to contribute in the country dialogue and in the national strategic plan. For the MENA Region Learning Hub, the recommendation is actually for the MENA Regional Hub to be a platform that enhances communication and collaboration between CSOs and communities. MENA Regional Learning Hub can play a very important role in getting these civil society organizations and communities together under one umbrella so they can communicate and collaborate smoothly to reduce the negative environment that was prevalent in the region. The MENA Regional Learning Hub can also facilitate and coordinate the training for the CSOs and communities, and also be a facilitator to help communities access the technical assistance support. Again, the hub can play a very good role in establishing communication channels so that to improve the communication between CCM, principal recipients, and the CSOs and communities. and play a very important role in simplifying and disseminating the information related to the Global Fund to the community.